Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, Desiree Omley, OPR staff. House Bill 1222 deals with Public Records Act exemptions relating to financial and security information maintained by the Gambling Commission. As background, the Public Records Act provides for exemptions of documents and information related to certain enumerated commercial, financial, and proprietary information. Among these exemptions is the exemption on internal control documents, independent auditors' reports and financial statements, as well as any supporting documents of house-banked social card game licensees, if those documents are required by the Gambling Commission by rule, and also those documents submitted by tribes with a compact for Class 3 gambling. House Bill 1222 expands the scope of these exemptions in several ways. First, financial and security information submitted by licensed applicants, licensees, gaming facilities, or a tribe pursuant to a compact are exempt, rather than just those documents submitted by a house-banked card game licensee and tribes. Second, the scope of financial information is expanded to include financial statements and transactions beyond just independent auditor reports and financial statements. Examples include bank account records, loan agreements, and stock buyouts. Third, the scope of internal control documents is further specified and expanded to include information that describes internal operational systems or internal procedures of gaming facilities. Examples include security, camera technical specifications, building access controls, and cash-out procedures and locations. Fourth, an exemption is created to include gaming facility security information such as firewall configurations, facility layout, and schematics, and other sensitive information that, if released, may negatively impact the security of the facility. And lastly, an exemption is created to include gaming equipment information relating to hardware, software, and security information such as source codes, user credentials, system components, and any other sensitive information about the equipment that may compromise the security and integrity of the equipment if released. That concludes my remarks, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
No questions? See no questions. Let's hear from the prime sponsor. And I just want to acknowledge that I see several prime sponsors in the room. We've got a funky situation with people going to testify on other bills. But we're going to get through this as quickly as we can, and we're just going to go ahead and hear the few testifiers we have on this bill, then we'll move on. Vice Chair Stearns.
Thank you, Chair Mena. For the record, Chris Stearns, representative from the 47th District. And thank you for hearing this bill. As the staff so thoroughly and eloquently said, the bill essentially helps safeguard the security and the data of information used in the gaming ecosystem, but it's certainly the actual devices and games themselves and the building security. As you can imagine, gaming is one area where there is a lot of there are attempts to compromise those systems. So we want to just keep this information as safe as possible, and that in turn allows for people who play the games to be safer, and it allows for better enforcement of the law. Thank you.
Any questions for the prime sponsor? Great. Seeing none, then I will invite up the two testifiers we have for this bill, Tricia Gillon from the Washington State Gambling Commission and Roland Thompson from the Allied Daily Newspapers. I am going to put 2 minutes on the clock. Please feel free to start whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon. I'm Tricia Gullion here on behalf of the Washington State Gambling Commission, testifying in support of House Bill 1222. We want to thank Representative Stearns for sponsoring our agency request legislation to protect the proprietary financial and security information of our licensees and tribal partners. The Gambling Commission's mission is to protect the public by ensuring gambling is legal and honest, and to keep the criminal element out of gambling. This legislation will serve as a tool to ensure we continue to do just that. This legislation protects licensees and tribal gaming facilities by limiting their exposure to fraud, robberies, and cybersecurity threats. This will also protect the public by safeguarding information regarding the equipment used to conduct gambling. Additionally, while drafting this legislation, we reached out to tribal partners, licensees, and representatives of the Sunshine Committee to solicit feedback. By passing this bill, you will help us strengthen the regulatory work we do to ensure we keep gambling legal and honest and the criminal element out of gambling. We appreciate your time, and please pass House Bill 1222.